Do you think this is an ordinary schoolboy? No, this is a real superhero. If you don't believe me, then watch our recap of the film Shazam and see for yourself. It's the winter of 1974. Young Thaddeus Sivana, along with his father and older brother Sid, is riding in a car to visit his grandfather. Ted plays with a magic ball in the backseat, irritating his father, who thinks his son is worthless. Sid takes his brother's toy and humiliates Ted. He returns the boy's fortune-telling ball, claiming that it is broken. Ted shakes the ball. Suddenly, the boy miraculously finds himself inside the Rock of Eternity, where the castle cave is located. There he is greeted by an old wizard. He is the last of the Council of Seven. The wizard explains that they have kept the 7 deadly sins under control. These formidable demons are imprisoned in the stone statues, but they dream of breaking free. The wizard claims that he is looking for a successor to pass on his magical powers, but only someone with a pure and kind heart can possess them. The boy becomes tempted by demons who promise him power and might. Ted reaches for the glowing ball. The wizard decides that he has failed the test and is unworthy to be his successor. The boy finds himself back in the car. He shouts that he is worthy of magical powers. His father scolds him for almost causing an accident. Sid even attacks his younger brother. At that moment, another car crashes into them. The seriously injured father is thrown out of the car onto the ice. Ted reads the inscription on the magic ball, "Find us." We are brought back to the present day and see a teenager named Billy luring the cops to a pawn shop. Locking them inside, getting into a patrol car and using their computer to look up the address of a woman named Rachel Baston. We are shown a flashback of his memories. Little Billy is at the Christmas fair with his mother. The mother tries to win a toy tiger for her son in an air dart attraction. Unfortunately, all they get is a compass keychain. The kid drops the keychain in a crowd of people. The ball rolls away. Billy releases the mother's hand, chases after the prize and loses his mother from sight. The lost child is picked up by the police officers. Now Billy is 14. He heads to the address he found on the police database. Alas, the woman who lives there is not his mother. The cops find the teenager and take him to social services. A nice couple, Rosa and Victor, are ready to accept the boy into their family. They already have 5 foster children living with them: Mary, Darla, Eugene, Pedro and Freddy. Billy settles into Freddy's room. He is a lame boy in crutches who always makes jokes and loves superheroes. He shows his newly come roommate a batarang and a bullet, which was used to shoot Superman. However, Billy doesn't share his interests. At the same time, in the office building of the Savannah Industries Corporation, a woman tells the doctor that she has been allegedly kidnapped by a wizard. The doctor thinks this is a symptom of mass hysteria, but the patient shows a video with a strange symbol appearing on the monitor of her electronic watch. This greatly increases the interests of Dr. Sivana. He's been looking for people with such experiences for years. Sivana is convinced that a certain sequence of symbols will give him access to the Rock of Eternity. His assistant, however, doesn't believe it, so Sivana turns her into dust. After that, he breaks into the Rock of Eternity and fights the old wizard. Sivana touches the glowing ball and releases the 7 deadly sins from the statues. The demons infiltrate the orb and settle inside. Their new sanctuary becomes Sivana's right eye. Back to Billy. He is doing his best to get used to the new school, but Darla and Freddy only annoy him with their chatter. After school, Freddy has a conflict with a group of bullies who are about to beat him up. Billy is thinking of passing by, but still stands up for his foster brother and beats the bullies with Freddy's crutch. After that, he has to run away. Billy hops onto the subway train, where he finds mysterious symbols on the information board. In a second, Billy ends up inside the Rock of Eternity. There the wizard tells the boy that a bad man has once received magical powers, which resulted in the death of many people. So the wizard decides to find someone who has a kind heart, and he wants Billy to become his successor. All that he has to do to become a superhero is to touch the staff and say the name Shazam. Billy doesn't believe it, but still speaks the word. In that same second, Billy transforms into a superhero. An adult man dressed in a red tight suit with glowing lightning bolt on his chest and a white cape. Immediately, the old wizard crumbles to ashes. Shazam finds himself back in Philadelphia. He comes home, calls Freddy outside, and asks for his help. The foster brother is thrilled by the transformation and offers to test Shazam's superpowers. It turns out that he can shoot thunderbolts, move with super speed, and he's also incredibly strong. Billy and Freddy decide to take advantage of their situation and head to the market to buy a beer. At the supermarket, they manage to prevent an armed robbery. Shazam's body is bulletproof. However, the friends find beer not to their liking, soda just tastes much better. After they've had a good time, the boys return home. They learn that Shazam can turn back into Billy and then revert back to being a superhero. All he has to do is speak his name. Meanwhile, something terrible is happening at Sivana Industries. There, Dr. Sivana interrupts a board meeting hosted by his brother and father. He complains about constant humiliation during his childhood and wants to take a revenge on them. Sivana throws his brother out the window and unleashes the demons. They devour his father and the other board members. Once again, we return to Billy and his superpowers. Freddy publishes a video demonstrating Shazam's powers, and it goes viral. The boys skip school to test Shazam's fire resistance, ability to fly, and strength. Flying turns out to be rather problematic for now, but the other qualities are top-notch. Encouraged by the results, they walk around the mall where Shazam uses lightning bolts to charge people's cell phones as they pass by. The two manage to get a bunch of free cans of soda from the vending machine. Shazam successfully gets into a strip club, but just a few minutes later he comes out of there and says that he needs more money. Freddy and Shazam take cash out of the ATM and buy loads of different stuff. The next day of school, the bullies bother Freddy all over again. The boy tells them that the new superhero, known on the internet as Red Cyclone, is his friend. The bullies don't believe Freddy, and demand that Red Cyclone himself comes to school cafeteria tomorrow and tells them about it. Freddy promises to arrange the meeting. Billy accuses Freddy of using Shazam for his personal purposes. Later that evening, Victor asks the foster children what they think of the new superhero. Freddy and Billy argue vigorously about it. Billy decides to skip class to search for his mother, even though Freddy has asked him to come to lunch in the guise of Shazam. During the day, Shazam lets passerbys take selfies with him and demonstrates his ability to throw lightning bolts for money. Then he spots his foster sister Mary. She is feeling sad and doesn't notice anything around her. The girl steps out on the roadway and a truck rushes towards her. Shazam rescues Mary unharmed and asks what happened. Mary confesses that she doesn't want to leave for college and move out of her foster parents' house. Shazam accidentally calls Mary by her first name and then quickly runs away. Freddy finds Shazam and rebukes him for not coming to lunch. Shazam replies that he was busy and didn't have time for that fuss. The superhero shoots a lightning bolt, which punctures the tire of the bus. The bus loses control and crashes into the fence of the bridge it was driving on. Shazam manages to catch the bus that has fallen from a great height and places it on a pavement. This event becomes another triumph for the superhero. Dr. Sivana finds out about it. He shows up to the scene and demands Shazam to give up his superpowers. A fight ensues between the two. It turns out that Sivana is much stronger. He beats our superhero like a punching bag. Shazam tries to escape. During the chase, he discovers his ability to fly. Sivana tracks him down and beats him viciously one more time. But Shazam transforms back into Billy and hides in the crowd. Sivana takes Freddy hostage and demands to see his brother. At home, Eugene tells Billy that he's managed to find his biological mother's address. It turns out that she lives just 2 blocks away. Billy runs to her. At this time, Dr. Sivana shows up at the house. He catches all the kids while Rosa and Victor are out of their home. Billy finds the house where his mother lives and rings the doorbell at the apartment. A woman named Rachel opens the door for him. Billy explains that he is her son. The woman explains that she had a baby when she was 17. Parents kicked her out of their home, and Billy's father was in jail. So she left Billy at the fair on purpose, because she had no possibilities and just didn't want to take care of her son. Billy hands her the compass keychain that he has kept for all these years, saying goodbye and leaving. The boy gets a call from Freddy. He answers the phone and hears Sivana's voice, demanding that Billy comes home. The guy turns into Shazam and flies to his foster parents' home. For the sake of saving his foster family, Shazam decides to give up his superpowers. Sivan opens the door to the Rock of Eternity. Taking the wizard staff, he releases the 7 deadly sins. At this point, Billy's brothers and sisters appear in the cave. Someone throws a batarang at Sivana's head, and the kids manage to escape. They get into a chamber full of numerous doors, with strange monsters that look like crocodiles or flowers with teeth, lurking behind each of them. all family members still manage to teleport back to town and end up at the Christmas fair. Sivan and his demons attack the fair and break the Ferris wheel, which is about to collapse. Shazam engages in battle with Sivan. Grabbing the wizard's staff, Shazam asks his siblings to touch it and speak his name together. They all turn into superheroes. Each fights one of the demons. Shazam fights Sivan, and they fly to the roof of a skyscraper. Freddy, in the guise of a superhero, manages to prevent the Ferris wheel from falling and saves the people on it. And by the way, those are the same bullies who abused him at school. On the roof of the skyscraper, Shazam provokes the last remaining demon in Sivana's eye, Envy, into battle. It breaks free. Sivana hangs from the edge. Without the demons, he has become a mere mortal. He slips down, but Shazam manages to grab the villain before the latter hits the ground. Shazam brings Sivan to the fair and plucks out his magical eye. All evil forces have been defeated. People congratulate the winners, a family of superheroes. Shazam returns the eye to the magical cave, imprisoning the 7 deadly sins in stone statues as well. Back at home, they all watch a report on the events of the Christmas fair and laugh merrily. Billy realizes that he has found a real home and people dear to him. No one wants to sit next to Freddy in the school cafeteria, but moments later, his foster brothers and sisters join him at the table. The bullies wonder if Freddy is still friends with Red Cyclone. Shazam shows up in the canteen. He claims that Freddy has taught him all his superpowers. And one more thing, he is not the only superhero who decided to visit the school. Meet the real Superman. And what happened to Sivan? He ends up in a prison cell, feverishly scribbling some kinds of symbols on the walls. This activity is interrupted by Mr. Mind, a magical alien worm. It tells Sivan about the pillars of evil. And meanwhile, Shazam tries to talk to the fish like Aquaman. Give us a like, write a comment, subscribe to the channel and feel like a true superhero. You've been watching the Movie Cat channel. I'll see you later.